Welcome to another VFL review. It was a blustery, gusty day down at Coburg Lions home ground. What is it called? Barry Plant Park, I think. I think it was originally Piranha Park. But it was a beautiful day. It was nice and overcast, and the boys were looking for their second win of the season against a pretty gallant Lions side. And, you know, with 16 AFL listed players on there, you would hope that a win was what we got, and a win is what we came in and got done. It was just one of those games where it wasn't super exciting, but super high scoring. It's a bit of a juxtaposition how that sort of works out, because you think a super high scoring game would make it super exciting, but the boys did what they needed to do and got the job done. Yes! One of the biggest things I was looking out for here was who can replace Dan Houston. Now, that's something that's on everyone's mind at the moment. We were talking about it in a video. Is it Jacob Bryan? Is it Will Hoskin-Elliott, Will Parker, TJ? So it was a number of players that I was sort of keeping my eye on. And I couldn't really see that run and carry too much from the back. There wasn't really much to go off to be that Dan replacement. So I think we're going to have to look at a bit of a chameleon sort of role, whether it be Jack Crisp going off to the half back line, where we know we've seen him play quite a bit. I still don't think Perryman stays there. But the two guys that really impressed me in this VFL game was Lockie Sullivan. He was absolutely everywhere. Finn McRae on his return did really well. I'm just looking at midfielders at the moment. We'll talk about our forwards in a little bit. But Lockie, Finn did absolutely incredibly well. With Lockie Sullivan, he had 28 disposals, 5 tackles, 8 clearances, a couple of score involvements. He was just doing Lockie Sullivan things. He was absolutely incredible. The only thing, that's a little bit how's it going with Sully was that he played the whole game through, and you got to remember that our next game is early. Um, next week at Gather Round. It's on the Friday night, so it's only a 5-day break. Because when you look at the other players, so if you're looking at Will Hoskin-Elliott, Mason Cox, and who was the other player? Ed Allen. They were missing a lot of second half football, especially in the last quarter. Pretty sure Ed Allen and Will Hoskin-Elliott didn't go on in the last quarter at all, that I could see anyway. So that kind of indicates to me that they're probably looking at those guys to come into the team. But I thought Lockie Sullivan did really, really well. And same with Finn McRae. Finn McRae kicked 2 goals, 24 disposals. He had 6 clearances. But what I liked about McRae's game was that he had 7 score involvements, and he was going at close to 90% efficiency. So that's something that we haven't seen a lot of from McRae in the last couple of years. He's had his injuries, had his knocks on him, but on his return from that shoulder injury, he's come out really, really good. Now, if we're looking at forwards, we are, people say, oh, you guys don't have depth, you guys don't have depth. Let me tell you, we got depth coming out of our wazoo at the moment. Charlie West, 4 goals, 1 in the in that last quarter, he kicked 2 consecutive goals, took some very, very big pack marks, kicked a goal from 50, took 6 marks session general, 2 tackles, 4 goals, 1 though. He just looks a player. We've talked about Charlie West a lot, but he looks like he's ready to go. Give him half a... See, you see him on screen now. Give him half a season in the VFL. Get him, a bit more bulky. Get his confidence a little bit more up. And he is just absolutely ready to go. Will Hoskin-Elliott kicked 2 goals. Markov kicked a goal. But again, Markov played the whole game. Hayes got our first goal. Mason Cox kicked 3 goals in the first half. And he did everything right for a selection. 16 hit-outs, and, from VFL list of players, and someone that we talked about for mid-season draft potentially, is Riley Mason. He kicked 5 goals this game, I'm pretty sure he kicked 4 goals last game as well, so he's on absolute fire, and he could be a smoky, with Mason and West running this forward line for the next, 10 years, would not say no to that.
Dean soccering it, that works out. Sullivan taking the mark. 25 touches now for Lockie Sullivan. From the middle of the ground. Mason Cox down there, but it's going to go over his head. Good mark! It's West again, and he is going for his 5th.
Wow. What a fantastic mark. For not big in stature, is he? But he's marked that like a key tall forward.
Now, as we know, at least one spot available in the AFL side after what happens with Dan Houston on Friday night.
I alluded to it a little bit earlier where I said it wasn't a super exciting game, even though it was high scoring. I would have liked, players like Jacob Ryan, Will Parker, TJ to get into it a little bit more with their run and carry. There just wasn't a lot of run and carry from the half back line. Whenever they tried to get it out of the half back line, it just was stagnant. There was no cohesion through it. And, it just really wasn't working for me. It just wasn't an exciting sort of game for that run half back like Collingwood tend to do. But in saying that, Will Parker played okay, 2 disposals, 3 tackles. Jacob Ryan had 70 disposals, but no tackles for a half-backer. TJ had no tackles. So, Will Hoskin-Elliott had 4 tackles. So it's going to be interesting to see who they pick. But I dare say it'll be out of Will Hoskin-Elliott, Ed Allen. Expect Ned Long to be in the best 22, so no sub. So whoever comes on for this game against Sydney will be the substitute.
8 inside 50s, 8 marks for Donovan Tui. Good grab. Markov, who's been very quiet. His numbers down the other ends of the stat sheet have not been prolific today.
But that is pretty much it for this VFL game. I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be, as much as many of the VFL games that I can get to, you'll get these sort of videos. Let me know if you like them. Let me know what else you want from them. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, buy the merch. Until next time, Double Shackers.
It looks great.
Love you.
Collingwood's going to win.
Oh, he likes it too. He loves it, Oleg. Just something interesting I noticed. We've both got Charlie West down as kicking 5, but on the stats